Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled The Two Types of Mesirut Nefesh. According to the Medrash, Gemara, Medrash Rabbah, Gemara and Sota, the Jews were in dire straits, and during that time when they were trapped between the sea and the Egyptian army, and obviously they were petrified, didn't know what to do, so the Medrash describes the situation. According to one version of the Medrash, they went ahead and said to each other, you jump in first, you jump in first. And no one jumped, and eventually Nashim and Aminadav jumped in. Chaim brings another version that each one said, I'll jump in, I'll jump in. Muhammad says you might think that that's the better, more complimentary version of the Jewish people, which is it's not so simple because each one's saying, I'll jump, I'll jump, I'll jump, I'll jump, and no one did it until Nashim finally jumped. Yeah, at least the first version is more honest. You jump, I don't want to jump. So either way, according to the version that each one said, you jump, I'm not jumping in, until finally Nachshon jumped in. So Rav Shmulevitz in Sichos HaMusa asked a simple question. He says, Mesiras Nefesh of the Jewish people is very, very impressive. Unfortunately, through our history of oppression, we have seen so many examples where Jews, great Jews, simple Jews, are told either adopt another religion, idolatrous religion, or I'm going to kill you. And they went ahead and said, take my life. I will not go ahead and sway from my loyalty to God and the Torah. So he said, if that's the case, why couldn't anyone do that by Yam Suf? And the whole clouds back and forth, back and forth. So there's a lot of answers. You could say that it's been a history of Mesiras Nefesh that we've had for centuries and thousands of years, but this was the beginning of Jewish history. You could also say, but he had Avram Yitzchak, that already set the tone. You can argue that point. Rosh Shmulevitz says another point. What does he say? He says that there's one kind of Mesiras Nefesh where you go ahead and you jump into the sea because they tell you that on the ship, if you do Avodah Zarah, or we're going to throw you into the sea and die. That is an amazing level of the Mesiras Nefesh where you jump into the sea to die. But this is a different kind of Mesiras Nefesh. This is a Mesiras Nefesh where you're jumping into the sea, which was a raging ocean at that time, and they're jumping into it to live. That goes against the senses totally. Person goes ahead and says, "Shoot me in my head, because I will not bow down to Avodah Zarah." That's unbelievable gvura. It's greatness. It's Mesiras Nefesh, but it's not confusing to the senses. It means overcoming the desire for immortality to continue to live and overcome that and give up your life, which is amazing. But over here, my senses tell me I'm going to die when I go into this raging ocean. And I'm being told by going in that's going to save me. That's just a whole different challenge. So Rav Shmulevitz goes ahead and says that we have to have two categories. Mesiras Nefesh, where there's clarity, where one's going to die, and that's an amazing level. And then there's a Mesiras Nefesh of confusion, where you're jumping into the sea of confusion, and that's also very challenging. It's a different kind of Mesiras Nefesh. So even if the Jews may have been excellent at the Mesiras Nefesh, where there's clarity, I'm giving up my life, there's a new level of Mesiras Nefesh here, not necessarily high or low, just a different type of Mesiras Nefesh, where I'm jumping into a sea of confusion, and still you go ahead and do that. Not everyone was at that level, and Nachshon was the one who needed to jump in and save the day. Shalom.